My camera battery is so low, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the video, but we'll try. Here we go. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. July is over, it's August, my birthday month. I want to show you guys all of the books that I accumulated in July. Did I say July is over or did I say June is over? I don't know. It's a lot less this time. Yay, yay, applaud me. I think last month I did like over 30 books. I think June was more than 30. This time it's 19. Before I show you all the books that I got, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 3 days a week. My background is still chaos. I'm not done building the shelves yet. That takes a while. This month I showed an uncharacteristic level of restraint. I only got one book from Book of the Month, and it's Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. This was the obvious choice. Whenever they have fantasy or sci-fi or horror as one of their options, I always go for it because I'm not really into the regular stuff that they have. I'm actually going to find out tomorrow what the August books are. Fingers crossed there's something good. Anyways, Immortal Longings. Immortal Longings is an Antony and Cleopatra retelling, and I've heard that it's extremely disappointing. Oh no! I've only seen like 2 or 3 star reviews of this book, which is a bummer. It's Chloe Gong's adult debut, so she usually writes teen YA stuff, and it seems like she kind of fumbled it. Am I gonna read it? I don't know. Probably not. Speaking of fumbling, I almost just dropped it. This month I was once again lucky enough to be sent some books by publishers. I've already talked about The Militia House by John Milas a bunch. It was sent to me by Holt and Macmillan. Thank you so much. Check out my last video for a full review on this. It's a military horror. I really liked it. It's a great debut. It's nice and short. I gave this like 3 3/4 stars. I was also sent something that I am so excited about. I was reached out to by K Publicity on behalf of Head of Zeus and Shauna Wallace. I was sent the brand new paperback release of The Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Wallace. I already have read and own this book in the original release, which is this one. I should have just brought it upstairs. It's this one. But they wanted to send me the original as well as the sequel, The Words of Kings and Prophets, which is coming out in September this year. I was supposed to be receiving that any day now, and like with my luck it's gonna arrive immediately after I finish filming. This is also so exciting to me because Shauna is actually a friend of mine. We met in a writing group last year and have shared a lot of like writing advice. I got to meet her in London. The Children of Gods and Fighting Men is an unbelievable debut. I am so impressed with Shauna and her writing. It's Irish mythology, Vikings and ancient Celtic mythology, and strong women, strong moms. So good. I'm hoping to actually have Shauna on the channel a little bit later, maybe towards September, for the release of her new book. Fingers crossed. Shauna, get on my channel. I put all the books that are gonna be in the video behind me just to like fill out my background. So this stack here is all books that I thrifted this month. I definitely feel a bit better about myself because a large portion of the 19 books that I got this month were thrifted, so they were a lot less expensive. Will they fit on my shelves just because they were thrifted? No, that's not how this works. There are 2 main secondhand bookstores that I visit in my city. The first one is called Old Goat Books, and I'm actually partnering with them soon to do some videos, which is like really cool to me. So I went there last week or the week before, and I picked up Growing Things. Just dropped a book. By Paul Tremblay. This is a story collection, a horror story collection published by Titan. I had not heard of this before finding it at the thrift store, but I'm a fan of Paul Tremblay, and it was $7, so yeah. And then some finds that I was really excited about, I picked up Ancillary Justice and Ancillary Mercy by Anne Leckie, both at Old Goat Books. This is the 1st and 3rd book in her trilogy, so I need to scout out Ancillary Sword. I don't think I'm gonna buy it new. I'm gonna try to find it thrifted just because I want to. And then again, for picking up books in the middle of series, I picked up the 4th book in Devin Madsen's quadrilogy, I guess it is, We Dream of Gods. I own the first 2. I don't own the 3rd, but now I own the 4th. It was in really good condition. Oh, and these are from KW Books. Yeah, it was $14 for like a perfect condition paperback. of a series I already own. This is The Reborn Empire. I've heard amazing things. Devin Madsen seems like a cool person. So again, I'm gonna try to thrift the third book. If I can't thrift it, I'll just buy it new. But KW Books was like a trove of treasures this last couple weeks that I went in, because I also was able to get Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan in really, really good condition. This is the first book in the Riria Revelations. I've never looked at the title before. I don't know how to say that. Riria? This is a favorite of a coworker of mine, so I'll ask her how to pronounce it, 'cause I don't know. Oh my gosh, okay, I was just flipping through it. There's a Magic the Gathering card inside. Whoa, that's fun. This was probably someone's bookmark. Sorry that you lost your Ondu War Cleric. I don't know much about magic. Hopefully you're not missing this card. I will follow the light of Iona into battle, and I will know no fear.
Tap an untapped ally you control to gain 2 life. Seems like it could be a pretty good card, but it's just common, so...
Alright, I guess they're not missing out then.
No.
Using it as a bookmark.
Yeah.
I'll keep it. And then also at KW Books, I feel like these are all donated by the same person because they're all in pretty similar condition and then pretty similar genres. But I finally picked up The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. This is one of those books that everyone has or has read and has been recommended to me 9,000 times, and I should read it. But I was talking myself out of buying it because I just wasn't sure if I would like it. But when I saw it at the thrift store, I was like, fate. I think this is also a favorite of a different coworker. So I'm just buying on my coworkers' faves these days. Or you know what? This next book I actually picked up at Old Goat Books, but I forgot. So, doing them out of order. I found The Tropic of Serpents by Marie Brennan. This is the second book in the, I think, Memoir of Lady Trent books. They're dragon books. I have the first one in my hand right here, A Natural History of Dragons, which I did buy new. The reason I brought this up is because I was really excited to find this. It's in okay condition. I need to clean the front with some lighter fluid. It's a little sticky, a little dirty. I don't know why I just rubbed my hand all over it. When I brought it home though and put it on the shelf next to the first one, I was upset because they, despite being a series, they have different publishers. So the first one is published by Tor, the second is published by Titan, and they're very much not the same size. But oh well, it was like $4 for Tropic of Serpents. The last book that I thrifted in July is probably the one I'm most excited about because it's a brand new release. So I was surprised to see it at the store. It's The Last War by Justin Lee Anderson. Now I'm flipping through all of them trying to see if there's any more magic cards or anything. Nice map on the inside. This is the first book in a brand new Orbit trilogy, and like I said, it came out 2 months ago in May. So really cool to find it at a thrift store. I almost bought it brand new at the store I work at. Really glad I didn't because now I have it for very cheap. Oh, and I'm just reading the back and I didn't know this. It was voted Best Self-Published Fantasy Book of the Year, whatever year that was. SPFBO, if you're not familiar, is a very big competition for self-published books with different rounds of voting. I had no idea that this was originally part of that, so it must have been picked up by Orbit after winning that. Great job, Justin Lee Anderson. Okay, next. Oh, I think that book is a good segue into my next category, which is highly anticipated new releases. I've talked about this author a whole bunch, and I've talked about this book a whole bunch leading up to its release on July 10th. It's The Judas Blossom by Stephen Arion. This is the first book in a new series published by Angry Robot. It's a Persian-inspired historical fantasy. Gorgeous cover. So essentially a new look at the Mongolian invasion of Persia in the 1200s, the late 1200s. I actually have an excerpt from this on my channel from a few months ago when I met Stephen in Chicago. He gave a reading there and I was able to film it, so I'll link that above if you want to check it out. Another book I've talked about a bunch already on the channel is Gods of the Wordwood by R.J. Barker. I'm not gonna bring it up again, the fact that the cover is blurry. I'm not bringing it up. I'm very excited for this one. I've been waiting for it. R.J. Barker's awesome, and it's really cool to have a new series from him after the Bone Ships. Oh, it's got a really cute map on the inside. I didn't even look at this yet. It's in a style that I've not seen a lot. Genevieve Gordacek has a brand new book out. It is The Weaver and the Witch Queen. A coworker of mine just finished this the other day and she loved it. She said it was even better than The Witch's Heart, which I adored. So pretty excited to read this one. It's another Norwegian Viking Age history with lots of magic and apparently sapphic rep, which is cool. If you haven't read the Wayward Children series, I haven't either, but there is now out from Tor.com a bind up of the first 3 books. So I picked this up because I've heard really good things about this series and I'm a fan of the way they've put this together. The collection is called Be Sure, but the individual books are Every Heart a Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, and Beneath the Sugar Sky. Okay, I've talked a lot about fantasy and I love fantasy. I've been finally back into fantasy, but just going back to what I've been talking about a lot recently, which is horror. There were 2 big horror releases that came out this month. First, there's Boys in the Valley by Philip Fracassi. It's hard to say that name together. Set in the early 1900s at a boys' orphanage, a stranger shows up and then creepy things start happening and things start infecting the boys. It kind of reminds me of the plot of The Troop vaguely, but I don't think it's going to be as like nasty gory as The Troop was. The other horror book that just came out is Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. These are both from Tor Nightfire, by the way. This is set at a conversion camp in Montana and it's all about the queer community and demons, and I'm really excited. The last books I want to talk about are right here. These are, you can see one of them already. These are sort of impulse fantasy buys. The first one here is called Forged by Blood. I have not heard a single thing about this book, but it arrived at my store. There were 2 copies that arrived. My coworker and I opened the box and we knew these books were not even hitting the shelves. We both bought the 2 copies we had because this cover is stunning. It's an adult fantasy from Harper Voyager. I do know that. It's about family and survival. I will read it. It's not super long. I will read it and I'll let you know. Oh, and it's Nigerian folklore based. Then we have The Bonesmith. No, just Bonesmith. No, by Nikki Palprato. This is a young adult novel that really just seems kind of like Gideon the Ninth, but worse. I think that's unfair of me to say because I haven't read it, but it's YA, so I just don't know, but it really sounds like Gideon the Ninth. It's Necromancer Trials. And the final book that I picked up this month is The Deep Sky by Yumi Kitase. This is a sci-fi book that kind of sounds like the Atlas 6 but in space. The reason I bought this book, other than the blurb and the stunning cover, is because I was trying to put away books at work and they just weren't fitting and I needed to get rid of 1 book and I was like, well, I could just buy this. So I did. It actually sounds pretty cool. Another book that I've really not heard a lot about, but that I probably will read, and I'll let you know what I think. And that's it. That's all 19 books that I picked up in July. Let me know in the comments if you bought any of these as well, or if you are going to buy them now that I've brought them to your attention. If you've read any of them, let me know what you thought, and I guess also let me know in the comments if there were any July releases that I missed. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 3 days a week. I love you guys. Goodbye.